Push Caitlin's 2 seasons. They're saying now that we might not get a signature shoe from Caitlin until 2026 or 2027.
Yes, the Nike CEO has finally responded to the criticism she got for not giving Caitlin Clark a promotion. The simplest Nike product ever is the one that Caitlin eventually owns. Nike truly believed that by releasing this garbage, they had accomplished something. Caitlin's own shoes may have been released by Nike. After her rough season, it would make sense, but instead they published a top with a few tracks on it. For her efforts, this woman only received a simple shirt. What a joke about Nike and marketing that someone sent on Twitter. Clark, Caitlin. Don't you think that they are regrettably entirely correct? Adidas even congratulated Caitlin on her debut season sooner. What an opening season. Congratulations to the 2024 WNBA Rookie of the Year, Caitlin Clark. That was Adidas ambassador Billie Jean King praising Caitlin before Nike had even mentioned that A.A. Wilson was his first priority. And it's evident that CAA has been widely featured on billboards since her MVP victory. She was without a doubt the league's best player. However, she won't sell as much as Caitlin. People are more interested in Caitlin than in Alcoholics Anonymous. He has consistently pushed the envelope and welcomed the world's best talent, being at the vanguard of sports culture. Viewership reached unprecedented heights during Caitlin's debut season in the WNBA thanks to their groundbreaking alliances with rising stars and legends like Michael Jordan. Nike has consistently positioned itself as a business that supports players who are more than just their performance on the court. However, it seems that the massive sports organization is taking its time with Caitlin Clark, one of the most important and promising players in women's basketball right now.
Seen any commercials, we have not seen any ads, we have not seen any Caitlin Clark merchandise, and we for sure as hell have not seen any Caitlin Clark signature.
Caitlin Clark's distinctive shoes since her initial court appearance. A multi-generational talent, Caitlin Clark has swept the WNBA. She set records and scored a ton of points during her incredible first season, swiftly becoming one of the game's most promising young players. She won the coveted Rookie of the Year award at the end of her rookie season, demonstrating her unquestionable supremacy and marking a major turning point in the growing impact of women's basketball in addition to her own personal accomplishment.
Second half really set the tone for me, for her to be, and should have been, the unanimous Rookie of the Year.
And it wasn't just one triple-double. She had 2 on the season.
And this is why we would love for the WNBA to make voting not anonymous. Because if you were the person that had that one vote, you should just be able to stand on it, and we should know.
Nevertheless, despite her obvious star power and marketability, Nike, the business that had originally signed her to an endorsement deal, mysteriously said nothing. Other businesses would have jumped at the chance to capitalize on such a talented athlete, but Nike's tardy and subpar public announcement of Caitlin's Rookie of the Year victory sparked a variety of reactions from supporters.
Nike has contract with Caitlin Clark. It's an 8-year contract. No shoes. No shoes. She is arguably the most dominant, most prominent professional athlete in the country right now.
During her remarkable debut season, Caitlin Clark smashed a few records, but her first product was a mediocre single top. However, it seemed like Nike was putting the barest minimum of effort for a player as important and game-changing as Caitlin Clark, even though the top sold out in less than an hour, proving how loyal and passionate her fan base is. Caitlin deserved more, and fans had higher expectations. The most puzzling aspect of Caitlin Clark's contract may have been Nike's refusal to provide her with her own signature sneaker. An athlete's signature shoes serve as a symbol of their influence in both his sport and society at large. Since it's clear that anything with Caitlin's name on it will sell out, fans are left wondering why one of the most engaging athletes in sports doesn't yet have her own sneaker. Caitlin seems like the perfect candidate for this kind of recognition given her stellar debut season and rapidly growing fan base. But in spite of the clear demand, Nike has been taking its time.
Caitlin Clark's the most valuable, most important person in the WNBA this year, and should have been unanimous.
Adidas, Nike's biggest rival, reacted to Caitlin's historic Rookie of the Year win faster, which is further adding fuel to the flames. Adidas didn't wait to celebrate her achievement because they openly applauded her more than a week before Nike did. Nike's delayed and haphazard response was revealed by this quick acknowledgement from Adidas, which does not even have Caitlin signed an endorsement contract. It seemed as though Nike had forgotten how a corporation as large and well-known as Nike could possibly neglect a player of Caitlin's caliber by the time they eventually offered their congratulations. The influence of Clark cannot be overstated. Huge crowds frequently attend her performances. She is undoubtedly one of the most well-known players in the WNBA, and her jerseys are among the best-selling items. Nike still tries harder to promote athletes like A.A. Wilson, who deserves her praise, but isn't as marketable as Caitlin. In spite of this, Nike spends a lot of money on advertising A.A. Wilson, the WNBA team spokesperson.
Nike and Caitlin Clark have just released the concept ideas for her shoe deal with them, that $28 million deal that she signed earlier this year. From the logo is one of the themes. So you see the Nike logo right in the middle, and then around it all of these dots. All of these dots are different places where Caitlin Clark has shot and made three-pointers. On the side here, you can just see some of the details of the shoe. There's the from the logo, all of those dots that are...
This is not intended to minimize the accomplishments of A.A. Wilson. The numbers speak for themselves, even though she is a fantastic player and a deserving MVP. Instead of emphasizing the fact that Caitlin Clark is unquestionably their most bankable star, Nike apparently wants to diversify its marketing and appeal to a larger audience, which is why they continue to actively promote A.A. Wilson. Despite this, Caitlin Clark's unrivaled celebrity power is evident in the fact that her jerseys, merchandise, and anything else bearing her name sell out virtually immediately.
Very, very few people, but there are some out there who resent the fact that this young white girl came out there and did her thing. Rookie of the year, 4th in the league for MVP voting, assist leader, one of the top leading scorers after the Olympic Games. She put on a show, validating all the attention she was receiving.
Even though Caitlin Clark's outstanding debut season earned her the championship, the WNBA still faces controversy in spite of its remarkable expansion and elevated profile. Fans were irritated by the voting method since Caitlin was denied the honor of a unanimous victory because only one voter selected Angel Reese. This seemed like a blatant insult to many. Throughout the season, Caitlin's performance was not only outstanding, but historic.
Look at this little chart right here. The Fever will have over 600,000 fans in attendance total this year. And the second best to that was in 1999 with the Washington Mystics at just over 400,000. So the Fever are going to account for over 200,000 more fans this year to their game.
For reasons that are hard to understand, Caitlin Clark is no stranger to criticism despite her accolades, her undeniable talent, and the unprecedented dedication she devotes to the sport. She gets criticized at almost every turn. Her confident style of play, her dominance on the court, or simply the fact that she has quickly become the face of women's basketball are all reasons for this. Paradoxically, Caitlin appears to attract an excessive amount of criticism. She has accomplished more for the WNBA in her short tenure than many could have imagined, attracting new sponsors, fans, and a level of enthusiasm the league desperately needed. However, the criticism persists, and it now seems like Nike is doing the same.
So bad they got the #1 pick. You gotta be bad to get the #1 pick. And she led them to their first 20-win season in almost a decade. She led them to the playoffs. I mean, the girl deserved the...
It's not only about selling products. In a highly competitive industry, Nike has a great opportunity to further cement Caitlin Clark's role as the face of their women's basketball division. In addition to being a talented player, she's a cultural figure who gives the WNBA new life and enthusiasm off the court.
Whoever you are, #1, you hate Angel. Because why would you do this to her? Angel, whoever did this to you is knob. I'm sorry. Because #1, they gonna blame Angel, and #2, they gonna blame Cheryl Swoops. I can already...
However, Nike seemed more focused with appeasing other fan communities and maintaining roster balance than they do on the immense potential they have with Caitlin. This is a quintessential illustration of attempting to please everyone. Additionally, they aren't making the most of a player that has the ability to drastically alter their WNBA lineup. Nike's reluctance to make Caitlin the center of attention feels like a missed chance to herald in a new era, despite the fact that she has a huge potential to raise brand awareness in women's sports.
About to tell y'all I haven't heard before, so I doubt you have either. Caitlin Clark has done is grown the WNBA exponentially. She did in 5 weeks what would have taken 5 years. And as it pertains to draft viewership, she did in 5 days what would have taken 5 years.
Why not Caitlin? Given that supporters have already begun to attack other athletes in the men's and women's leagues for having signature shoes, massive marketing campaigns, and Nike's full support. She is a player with a substantial fan base already, indisputable star power, and a demonstrated marketing force. The question that keeps coming up is why one of the most well-liked, accomplished, and engaging players in women's basketball is being treated like an afterthought. This is a major missed opportunity for Nike, as well as a lost chance for Caitlin Clark.